Hey there guys, this is Chef Chris, and today we are making chicken strips, onion rings, and some homemade honey mustard. Now these are delicious. I have yet to find a restaurant that makes just as good chicken strips or onion rings as I do. They are so crispy, so juicy, so delicious, and you guys know I'm usually quite humble, but I've got to say these are pretty darn good. Alright, so we're going to get started. We're actually going to make a brine, guys. Now this is going to help keep moisture in the chicken. Don't limit it just to chicken strips. Use it for chicken breast. Use it for pork chops. Delicious. We're going to throw in a saucepan. We have got 1 quart of water versus 1/3 cup of salt, which is kosher salt, okay? And we're going to use a 1/2 cup of any kind of sugar. I'm using brown sugar. Use regular sugar. Use honey. Use molasses. Anything is totally fine. We're just going to heat that up, not hot. We're just going to let that sugar dissolve right into that water. Alright, we're going to get started. We're also going to use a couple of tomatoes. I got 2 Roma tomatoes here. Should have got a much sharper knife. Nothing more dangerous than a dull knife in the kitchen. We're also using 4 habanero peppers, as you saw on the side. I only cut off the tops. I don't know why I even cut off the tops. Alright, we're going to throw that liquid. The liquid is actually still warm. We're going to put it in a blender right now. And we're going to toss in those tomatoes, those 4 habaneros, and we're going to give it a nice blend. But after we do give it a blend, we're going to go and let that cool down to room temperature, okay? You don't want to pour it into the chicken while it's still hot. We're not trying to cook these chickens at all right now. Alright, once it is cooled down, go ahead and throw it into a Tupperware bowl with as many chicken strips as you're going to use. And make sure it's just covered. We're going to put that in the fridge and we're going to let that marinate for about 4 hours, guys. Alright, we're going to make some honey mustard. We have got very simple ingredients to make honey mustard. It's going to be mayonnaise, a nice squeeze of honey mustard. I'm not measuring anything, guys, okay? It's all to taste. We're going to taste and adjust. Got a nice pinch of cayenne pepper for that heat, and it's going to give these nice little red pepper flakes throughout the honey mustard. A good squeeze of honey, and to counteract with the sweetness of the honey, we got a couple of drops of rice vinegar. Any vinegar will do there. Apple cider, totally fine. And we're going to give that a nice stir. And of course, give it a good little taste just to see if you need a little bit more sweetness, maybe a little more mustard. And we are set. I went ahead and put that in the fridge to chill up as well. Alright, now a very big secret on how I get my chicken strips so crispy. Panko breadcrumbs. Panko, it's Japanese breadcrumbs, okay? I put them in a bowl and I tossed in a good amount of cayenne pepper, as you saw. You can find panko breadcrumbs anywhere. Go to any Albertsons. Walmart carries them. They are easy to find. Alright, now in a Ziploc bag, we have got 1 cup of flour. We're going to throw in some nice garlic powder, some more cayenne pepper because I love spice, as you guys know. Some fresh cracked black pepper, and top it off with salt. This is a key ingredient. You got to make sure that your chicken strips are coated with a good seasoned flour, okay? Because we're not going to add any salt or any kind of pepper to the panko, just to the flour that's going to coat these chicken strips. 4 hours later, I threw them right on the towel just to get a little bit of that water off of the chicken strips. And then we're going to toss them right into that flour. This is a great way to do it. It's going to coat everything beautiful. Everything's going to be coated evenly. And we are good. Alright, now in another bowl, we have got some eggs. I have about 10 chicken strips I'm making here. So I used about 5 eggs here. And we're going to give it a nice splash of milk. And we're going to pretend like these eggs are Rihanna and give them a good beating, right? Make sure everything's nice and incorporated. That milk is good. Just give it a good beating for about 3 minutes. And we are set. Alright. We're going to go ahead and toss in these chicken strips into the egg mixture. And after that, toss them right into the panko. I separated them into 2. 1 for the onion rings, 1 for the chicken strips. Just so I had a flat surface for the chicken strips. Go ahead and give it a little patting. Make sure it's totally coated in that panko breadcrumbs. And we are set. Set those aside. Alright, now we're going to make a tempura batter, guys. This is where we're going to dip the onion rings in first and then in the panko. We're going to start off by putting, we got 1/2 cup of flour. We got 1/4 cup of cornstarch to help thicken it up. And about 3/4 cup of cold club soda, okay? Make sure it is cold. Give it a nice stir. It's going to look a little runny now. Give it about 15 minutes. It should thicken up. If it's not thick enough, add a little more flour, a little more cornstarch until you get the right consistency, okay? Go ahead and toss in those onion rings that we have sliced up from I'm using a yellow onion here. Seems to be my favorite onion when I make onion rings. We're going to go ahead and toss those right into those beautiful seasoned panko breadcrumbs. Now I'm going to show you 2 techniques. One is with a clean fork. Use 1 fork for the batter, 1 fork for the panko, okay? You could do it that way, or my favorite is give them a nice toss. everything's gonna coat, I think, a little more better than you do with a fork. All right, now it's time to fry them up, guys. We're almost done. We have vegetable oil heated to 350 degrees, okay? We're gonna go toss in 2 chicken strips. You don't want to throw a lot in there. You want to throw about 2 at a time. Make sure that the heat from the oil doesn't drop too much. Now, I don't have a specific time. It takes a couple of minutes, maybe 4 to 5 minutes. Just keep checking those chicken strips till they're a beautiful golden brown. I went ahead and set them right on a rack to get that leftover oil to drip down. And we're gonna do the exact same thing with the onion rings. Drop in about 5 at a time, not too many, and we are done, guys. It is time to enjoy. Took that honey mustard right out of the fridge for us, and we got these beautiful, crispy, golden chicken strips that are so moist in the center. Delicious. Honey mustard has to be one of my favorite dipping sauces of all time. And we've got these gorgeous onion rings that we're going to dip in this nice ketchup. And so it's actually a spicy ketchup that I made earlier. So sorry I didn't have a video on that. But that was my chicken strips, onion rings, and honey mustard, guys. If there's any recipes you guys would like to learn how to make, let me know. And as always, hope you guys enjoy.